G'day guys, welcome back to another Polar Revolution guide, and in this guide we'll be talking about how to effectively farm cards and increase the card cap. If you don't know, cards are very useful, as they will give multiple rewards depending on the cards that you have. These rewards can consist of more damage, more crit rate, and increased offline tower floors depending on which cards you get, just to name a few of these bonuses. But these bonuses will help you throughout the entire game when you have unlocked these cards. So exactly how do you increase the card cap to begin with? To increase the card cap, you're going to need to transcend your cards. How do you transcend your cards, and how many cards do you need to be able to transcend it? Well, transcendable cards will be highlighted in purple. The purple means that you have enough cards to transcend it. What Transcend does, as it will remove the price to transcend it. For instance, this elk is 31, but for others it will increase, and I'll go that in a little bit later. You'll be needing 30 cards to be transcended, just to increase the max cards by 1 for that rarity, as each rarity is separate from the others. So after you've done all those transcending and you've done 30, you'll notice that each time that you do transcend, the amount of cards that you need to transcend it again will increase by 1. So your more frequently transcendable cards that you have transcended will cost more than the others. So as you can see, it will take longer and longer for you to increase your max cards. So it is a bit of a diminishing returns, but it will add up over time, giving you a lot of more rewards as you get more cards. So to actually farm these cards effectively, we're going to need as highest drop chance that we can get. To get the highest drop chance that we can get, we're going to have to use our Transcension card parts, which we get from Transcending cards, and we want to get the card detector as many levels as we can. This will increase the enemy card drop chance by 2% per level. Another way of increasing the card drop chance is through the pet of Shaco, which will increase it by 0.5%. There is some gem shop upgrades, and especially one that we need to be able to AFK farm cards, which is going to be the cards magnet. This will automatically bring the cards towards you and collect them. There is also a cards detector upgrade, which will increase it by 0.5% as well per level. There is a card detector in the malt shop as well, and I believe there are some others scattered around, but they are mainly in the nebula shop here through all this nebula leaves. So if you're in the Sacred Nebula, you will be able to get a little bit more card drop chance as well. But once you've got it as high that you think you can get in your current stage, then we want to head over to the Leaf Tower. The Leaf Tower is going to be the best bet in farming your cards, as it has the most diverse amount of enemies, so you're able to collect the most amount of cards when farming. And so how to effectively farm cards in the tower? Well, you're going to go over to your artifacts and you want to spam Blazing Skulls. This will constantly spawn 5 enemies, meaning that you're able to kill more, which in turn means more cards. So I highly recommend that you keep spamming these Blazing Skulls, and if you can, use a auto clicker as well. If you don't have access to an auto clicker and you don't really want to manual do it, then you can just AFK here with auto use on the Blazing Skulls as well. What I do recommend is going to your settings, going to your graphics, scrolling all the way down and turning menu transparency down a little bit. So when you are spamming your Blazing Skulls, you can see when you're not getting as many cards anymore, so you can go back and transcend it again, increasing the card cap as well. Once you've done this a couple of times, and many more times, depending how far you want to farm this, you'll notice that your card cap will be increasing slowly. This is good, but however, if you do keep on transcending your cards and just the tower, then you'll notice that you're unable to transcend your cards anymore. For example, this tower head here requires 152 cards to transcend, but my max cards is only 151. This is because of the +1, and the amount of enemies in the tower does not equal to 30, meaning that eventually you'll have to farm some other enemies to be able to increase your card cap. So after you've done the tower, you have to go into some other areas. I recommend going to the neighbor's garden, the mountain, and any other place with 2 or more different enemy types, so you can farm their cards there as well. The ones I did mention have 3 different enemy types there, so those are going to be the most effective after the tower. After you've done that, you just wanted to keep cycling through the different enemies, so you're able to get your max cards as up as high as you can. While doing this, you also want to be going and transcending and upgrading your TCP++, which will give you increased transcension cards when you do transcend, and also cards detector as well. So you do get increased drop chance as well, because that drop chance will drastically improve the amount of cards that you do get, and increasing the amount of cards, that you do get. But when you do when you do actively farm this with an auto clicker, or just actively clicking as well, you do want to go back to your cards and transcend them quite often, depending on how high your card cap is. It only may take a couple minutes before you are quite full, but when you get your card cap quite high, it may take an hour or 2. So I would highly recommend checking up on how many cards you do have quite regularly, so you're just not wasting and just collecting card parts without doing anything with it, essentially losing efficiency. That is all for today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and make sure you do like and subscribe as well. And I'll see you in the next one.